There's a very interesting midrash. It says about Vayakum Melech Hadash, but Paro Yakum Melech Hadash. We know there's a machloket in the Gemara, Talmud, Rav and Shmuel, whether it was a new king or the old king who changed his ways. But there's a very interesting midrash which says that gives details. It says Paro, when the people came to Paro, they felt threatened that the Jewish people were multiplying and taking over. They became frightened. So they came to Paro and said, you have to solve this problem. The Jews will take the upper hand and they might even throw us out of the country. So when they came to Paro, Paro refused. He told them, how can you do this? Up till now it was Yosef who helped us. It was Yosef who saved the country. So how can you do this to those people, the people of Yosef? So he seemed to have good feelings, very good feelings, and he didn't want to do what they're asking him to do against the Jewish people. The Midrash says they took him down from his throne for 3 months. And then Paro agreed to do what they wanted. And he became even worse than them. They came along and they wanted to do a detailed plan how to solve the Jewish problem. These big rings echoes in our mind of the recent past. So must solve the Jewish problem, and he did the worst things. The question is, how could Paro, who had such good feelings, suddenly change? Yes? Let me give you an example, another comparison. We know the Mialdot Ha'evriot, the Jewish midwives, Shifra and Pua, they were asked to cause the death of the male sons at birth. They refused. And they stood up to Paro. They could have resigned the job and let someone else do it. I can't do it, so let me go. No, they kept the job because they had Yirat Elokim. They were afraid there would come unscrupulous people, women who would become Yaldot and would do Paro's bidding. So they held on to the job and they did their best. They didn't change the goalpost. They said, well, we're under pressure, we have to do this. The Pasuk says, Vayareh Elokim, the Yaldot Vayareh Elokim, they were God-fearing. If a person is God-fearing, then the goalposts don't change. But if a person might even have good midot, he has good characteristics like Paro, he didn't want to go against the people of Yosef. But if the price is right, it can change. There can be double standards. Yeah, but if the Yirat Elokim, everything is as it should be, never changes. And this is what we learn. In recent history, we had a nation who prided themselves for being the most cultural people. They actually started the Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. And when it came to the Jews, they were the most cruel. They took little children and murdered them, threw them against the wall. The most cruel things. Even they were cultured. They could go home and sit back and pamper their little pets. If a thorn went to the field, call the veterinarian, and double standards. If there's no Yirat Elokim, then things change and the standards can change. And that's what Abraham Avinu told Avimelech, that even though there's law and order in your country, but if there's no Yirat Elokim, then things can change. We have to, if we want not to change or make double standards or move around, change a goalpost, then our avodah is to have Yirat Elokim, to cultivate and think of Hashem in everything we do. Mea brachot, bring us to think of Yirat Elokim. The brachot we make every morning, the brachot, Birchat HaShachar, remind us that everything we do and our whole being is helped by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we appreciate it. Yirat Elokim is what will make us go on the right path and not change our views, even under pressure. Shabbat Shalom.